I have not met him personally, but I know of him.
And you understand he was the senior manager at Boeing's 737 Renton, Washington plant, right?
Yes, I do.
And you understand he oversaw production for the 737 final assembly.
Yes.
And a moment ago, when you were responding to my colleagues' questions, you couldn't bring yourself to say that the FAA made any mistakes here. I know you used different language. I think some of us feel better if you showed a little more passion for this, sir. So I want to give you another opportunity at this. I know you knew that he wrote to you, that Mr. Pearson wrote to you once in September, but in fact he wrote to you 3 times, sir. He wrote to you in September, he wrote to you in October, and he wrote to you in November. And I know you just got on the job, but he didn't just write you letters. He sent you extensive information, didn't he, sir?
Yes.
On production problems that he identified at the Renton facility.
Yes.
So my question to you is, have you interviewed Mr. Pearson?
We have reached out to Mr. Pearson to schedule.
That's not my question. Yeah. Have you interviewed him?
I know that we have contacted him, yes.
So
I don't know if
Excuse me. He's sitting right over there.
Okay.
Will you commit, as we sit here today, that you will interview Mr. Pearson?
Absolutely.
Will you investigate the production problems at the Renton facility?
Yes.
Have you done so to date?
I know that there's ongoing activity through our oversight.
Sir, I'm sorry, that's not good enough. You got a bunch of people over here who lost loved ones. Come on. Have you to date investigated production problems at the Renton facility?
I believe we have. I'm not aware of the details.
Well, let's talk about that. You got any information on that, Mr. Lawrence? Have you interviewed production line workers at Renton?
Yes, we have.
How many?
I cannot give you a specific number. We do have open investigations on the production of the 7.
Is it more than 5?
I would not quote a number without going back to my investigators to give you the exact number.
So it's fair to say that neither of you have any specific information about whether you've actually interviewed production workers at Renton. I mean, I know you say you think you have. I know you say you're going to look into it. Sir, we're sitting here at a hearing in the United States Congress. You've been on the job for a while now. I take it this is the most important thing on your plate, fair to say, right?
Absolutely.
So are we going to interview the production workers at the Renton facility? Is it going to be a real thing? Can you come to us and give us some answers to what you're actually going to dig into? Because we know this wasn't just a software problem, right? We know it was a hardware problem. And you got a guy who wrote you detailed information who served at the plant as the senior manager, who served 30 years in the Navy before that, Naval Academy grad, knows what he's talking about, couldn't get an answer to 3 detailed letters he sent you, never interviewed him as we sit here. And honestly, it'd be great if you had some specifics on what you've done to look at the production problems at that facility. Can you shed any light on that for us?
You have my commitment that we are looking into those problems, and we will continue to do so.
But you don't know whether you don't know how many workers you've interviewed?
Not sitting here today, no.
Mr. Lawrence?
We have interviewed workers, and we can provide those for questions for the record afterwards.
Have you reviewed, I'd appreciate that, have you reviewed quality and production records from the facility?
Yes, we have.
Would you tell us about that?
There are ongoing investigations, and again, we can look at providing additional investigative reports at the appropriate time.
So you can't tell us anything about whether you've learned anything, as we sit here, about whether production problems detailed in great detail by Mr. Pearson in the letters he sent to you now months ago. I mean, are you aware that 4 months before the first crash, he brought these problems to Boeing's attention? You aware of that, gentlemen? 4 months.
I know that there were, yes, that concerns were raised, yes.
That's right. And do you understand that after the Lion Air crash, he went up and down the chain at Boeing. He went to the CEO. He went to the general counsel. He went to the board. Are you aware of that? He sent them letters too,
yes,
saying all the same things. And you know what they did? They sat on it until a second plane crash. That's what happened. A bunch more people lost their lives. Some of those pictures are right over there. And so we're sitting here now a year later, and neither of you can tell me whether you got anything specific on the production problems that he identified 4 months before the first crash. So I'm going to give you another chance, Mr. Dixon. Has the FAA made any mistakes here?
I think that's evident that we've got issues that I need to address and that our team needs to address. and that we have processes that need to be improved. So I would agree with you.
You can't say that word mistake, huh?
Well,
That one's just
I would
sticking on your lips there.
I don't want to blame other, I don't, again.
Not about blame, sir. It's about accountability. We're not trying to.
Accountability. Okay, again, I'm accountable. So I hold myself accountable.
Can you say that the FAA made a mistake in not taking seriously Mr. Pearson's concerns in a timely way?
We are taking we are taking all concerns, any concerns that are raised, we are going to take seriously and run them to ground in a systematic way so that we can make the right decisions.
Yield back.
Thank the gentleman for his question, and I would just ask very quickly,